Robert.
Yo, it's shaking AC.
Okay. we gotta admit something here. We both were just laughing our heads off because what we were both doing, we're like, okay, let's record a rant. So then I was like, well, hang on. And then I went and got like my makeup to like touch up my shiny nose. And then you want to tell them what you were doing?
I was going, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dogs. I was like stretching my jaw, practicing my linguistics. It's like a behind the scenes here.
Yeah. For anybody that's not watching visually right now, I'm stretching my face. Okay, do you think we're ready?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the other funny thing is, I shouldn't admit, but so the cat's out of the bag here, but I like to start a timer just to make sure we stay under about 10 minutes. For some reason, I always open my calculator. Like I go to start the timer and I open my calculator. Like that's going to calculate something. The time, maybe. Calculate the time, Siri. Next thing you know, I'm like, I don't know what the heck happened from that. Anyway, I'm going to go back. Okay, you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah,
you warmed up?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I have an idea. I think I have a really good idea.
Let's do it.
So, you know how everybody that has employees is talking about how people just move on so easily. They just move on. Like they just give you 20 seconds notice. They're like, I'm going. Especially if they're like frontline or entry level employees, right? Well, one of the things that I think, I don't know, maybe I'm the eternal optimist, but I do think I still think it has a lot to do with how you treat people and understanding people that makes them stick around. And we lived and breathed this when I was a franchisee because we had staff. Anybody that's, probably people that have watched all the rants already know this, but as if there's anyone, but maybe my mom. Hi, Mom. At our stores, we had, people had to work in a freezer, -20, and then they had to go serve staff, our customers and all this, be on their feet all day. And we found that paying people more money was not the secret. There were other things that we did, and it had a lot to do with understanding, people's motivation, what they cared about. And you often talk about Daniel Pink and his theories about what motivates people, I believe it is. So I'll let you explain it. But I think that anybody that's struggling with this employee challenge, listen up, because this Daniel Pink guy's done like studies and he's got the thing figured out.
Yeah. Listen, I've been a fan of Daniel Pink for like more than a decade, almost 2 decades now. He's been writing awesome business related books. Another one I really like is called A Whole New Mind, where he talks about the right side of the brain versus the left side of the brain and how it's applying to business and changing the industry and all that sort of stuff. But the one you're specifically referring to is called Drive. And the premise of the book is basically, money's important. People need an income. They need to pay their rent and buy their food. And I mean, if they're not making enough money, that's a different problem. Maybe the business isn't working, or maybe they're living outside of their means or whatever. That aside, assuming money is off the table, he proposes this idea that there's 3 things that drive people to perform at wherever they work. Okay. Do you want me to get into those?
Should I keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk. Okay, well, tell each one and we'll see. Maybe we'll stop for a second. We'll see. Just like tell me the first one.
Okay. So
not that they're in order. I don't think they're in order, but tell me one of them.
Yeah, no particular order. The first one is autonomy. So he basically starts speaking about, when you start micromanaging, and Simon Sinek talks a lot about like anti-micromanagement stuff too. Not only is it obnoxious and people get annoyed and they don't ultimately feel quote unquote loved by their employer, but
trusted.
Yeah. But they don't have autonomy. It's not like, when you sign up for college or university, especially distance ed remotely, you're doing it at your own pace. That autonomy, that feeling, I made this decision, I'm going to do it at my pace because this is what I want to do. They go hand in hand. So that's kind of the first thing, is you give people autonomy to operate. I mean, you could read the book to figure out if he's talking about, whether it's working hours, flex days, flex times, or how they come up with solutions to their problems, etc.
Right. So, okay, there's different ways to, yeah. So this is not a be all end all. You got to still go read the book, or you can look it up on YouTube. But autonomy, what is it? You can learn about what it means. Okay, next one.
Next one is mastery. So
Mhm.
this
Talk about
refers-
mastery.
So this refers to giving the people the ability to master their craft. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So if
Well,
you're
I
like,
do, but I know what you mean because I've read listen to the YouTube videos and think maybe the audiobook, but keep going. Okay.
yeah, like
Mastery, kind of what it means is,
yeah. So if you're, for example, like if you work in a virtual reality arcade at Control V, right? And you have all these, you're servicing.
which I hear is an awesome franchise company. If anybody's thinking about becoming a franchisee, by the way.
Thanks for that.
Okay.
So let's say you're working at Control V, right? And your daily responsibilities, opening, closing, being an attendant on the floor, fixing whatever might go wrong on the computers, etc. Right? If somebody says, "Hey, the computer is down," and somebody else says, "Okay, I will fix that because that's my specialty," and you never give this other person the ability to grow and become a master at that and be able to fix the computer, or like, I don't check people in because that's not my job, that's somebody else's job, not from a standpoint of job responsibilities, but because they're being pushed down, or you can't refill the Coke in the fridge because somebody with a supervisor title needs to be able to do that. You're putting boundaries around their ability to master their craft. And even beyond that, if they want to learn things, to move up and take on different roles and get involved in the franchising department or learn development, providing them the resources and the support to do that allows them to become masters at their craft.
I wonder if there's something there about how it builds confidence, like when you get good at something, you build your confidence. So that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So mastery. Third one
is purpose.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. And,
really?
and like there's so much like jibber jabber these days about the bits and bobs of purpose, and like we're changing people's lives and all that sort of stuff, right? But when you distill
Which is true.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. But on a very micro level, for a particular staff member, a particular employee, what's their purpose? And I'll give you an example of how I saw this happen in real life. We would bring on university students as co-op students, that would help us in development. And they would be from all different backgrounds, but we gave them the ability to master their craft. So you need to learn this, you learn it, take all the courses, and they learned to do something that they didn't have a skill set in. And we said, now we need you to build this particular device. And then they did that using the craft that they had, right? But one of the guys actually said, usually when a student becomes a co-op, they're sent out to pick up coffees, or they do just random data entry that really doesn't serve any greater purpose. And he said, what I'm building right now, even though I have no idea how I'm going to do it, is actually going to be rolled out to all of the franchisees across the network. And it's going to be front facing and servicing customers. Like I'm serving a really important purpose within this business.
That's a good example, because I think our instant reaction usually when it comes to purposes like, as you would say, saving the turtles, or like something that's like a little more obvious, but like feeling like you're important is purpose too, I think, based on what I'm hearing you say there. And like feeling like that I remember a job where it was like, oh, go sort those brochures out. I'm like, can I use my brain? And then I'm like, can I create a new program for like this whatever project that we were doing? And okay, and then like jumping it, and then you feel more important. So I think that might be So let's just summarize them again, or I'll review. Let's see if I got it. Autonomy, mastery, and purpose.
That's right.
Cool. So there you go, everybody. Go check out Daniel Pink. I think it's really cool, Robert, as a franchisor, how much you're so invested in being a lifelong learner and making sure that you are focused on what matters to people so that you can get them and keep them. Well, way to go.
I do what I can.
So let's wrap it up.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Go be awesome.